In the hinterlands of the Sunshine Coast, the past is everywhere peeking out at you. There are things here that have remained unchanged since the 1800s. Only partially obscured by the accumulation of rust and dirt and age. In the midst of a vast expanse of sugarcane fields, old railroad tracks wind through the valley that were once an important part of bringing the sugarcane to market. Next to the tracks lies the tiny town of Yandina. It is one of the oldest towns in Queensland. It was originally built to serve the rail. Here, the past and the present peacefully coexist. In this unremarkable town sits a remarkable place. It represents at once the past, the present, and the future. It represents a dream that came true, and now helps the dream of those who pass through it to also come true.
I'm Kate O'Reilly, and and this is The Shed. The Shed's located in Yandina. Is one of the oldest towns on the Sunshine Coast, I believe, and it was originated around an old sugarcane plantation, and the railway line that went through here used to take the sugarcane to Nambour, I think. The Shed, well, it was originally we figured it was used to service the railway line because of the two levels and all the roller doors around the place. So trucks could back up and offload things, and then it was a feed barn. And in fact, one of our music teachers a while ago bought her first chickens from here. Well, the main aspect of The Shed is the Sunshine Coast School of Photography. But we have many other creative workshops here. It's essentially a school, a creative school. Yeah, so, I mean, we have all kinds of things, music, photography, documentary filmmaking, acting and performance. Yeah, beats the 9-to-5 job anyway, and it helps people realise that they can do what they love. The Shed, we took ages to come up with a name for it, just to encapsulate the whole vibe of the place, and it took about 6 months for us to actually just say, okay, it's The Shed. The first time we saw The Shed was a few years ago, and it was just this great big warehouse with so much potential. And so the Sunshine Coast School of Photography was just down the road at that point, and so we waited.
My first experience of The Shed was when Kate and Boogie just had the place, and it was it's kind of a shell yet waiting to be transformed. There was a bit of a leak in the back wall. It was all seeping down water, and they told me, oh, there's going to be a kitchen over here, and this is going to be the stage. And you could see the potential here was something for really amazing. We all got really excited that afternoon.
Well, when we moved into The Shed first, it was basically just a big white shed, empty, like a big blank canvas. And we thought, wow, how exciting. Yeah, we used every nook and cranny of the place. It was basically just, it had a stage kind of built, and well, being 2 levels, it was quite easy to finish that off. And we put in a lovely red carpet for the stage and painted some of the walls black and some of them red. And
I remember thinking, this is great, just what our area needs, you know. And I'd only kind of just met Kate and Boogie, but I already knew they were the right people to do the work, to put in the hard yards, you know. And here we are today, going to have a beautiful concert tonight.
Alan Kelly, who comes and does the songwriter sessions, and we've had a lot of kids come in, get up on the stage, and they're absolutely terrified to start with, but then, you know, you can see their confidence building every month, and it's just wonderful. And then they realise that, you know, it is okay to express themselves creatively.
Kate wanted me to do workshops to teach people how to write songs, and I didn't want to do that in that format. I thought the best way to teach people is to get them up, and then to get, you know, semi-pros and pros, professionals up performing in the same space, and them all getting to know each other and talking. So it's kind of an organic, living, vibrant workshop, isn't it? It's nice working on a subconscious level with these artists, you know. They don't know that they're learning a lot, but they are. So you sneak it in the back door. And I try and make it as nurturing as possible. I remember my first time performing, and it was terrifying. And I'll never forget it. It's still there with me. So I try and, if it's someone's first time, I'm always very, very careful about how I handle them, you know.
The Shared, through the last 18 months that we've been going, has really seen a lot of youngsters and older people too transform and blossom in their passions, especially on the open mic sessions.
Well, the Shared, I guess, has been here a little over a year, but I was one of the first people, I suppose, that got involved here. And it has been a really amazing experience and a wonderful kind of a creative opportunity for all kinds of things, particularly like to showcase things, which I was kind of experimenting with, and present them to an audience and see if they fly or not. It's just been such a mecca for creative people, and they get together and you talk and you get ideas, trade ideas around. So many things from my creativity have come as a result of meeting people here.
It's got to do with the people, you know. Kate's such a warm, beautiful, giving person that it brings out the best in everyone.
Recently, the town of Yandina held its annual street fair and gave hundreds of people from nearby communities an introduction to the charming little town. It was an afternoon of sun and fun, carnival rides and local markets. It also provided locals and visitors a perfect introduction to the Shared and its many cultural and creative offerings.
Oh, the Yandina Street Fair was wonderful this year. There were so many amazing bands out on the streets, and everyone was just in such a good mood, and skipping along the streets with a candy floss, and it was just a lovely day. We sold so much coffee, people must have been wired. It was just lovely. We had so many wonderful musicians come and do their thing, and just it was kids rushing around the place, you know. Very nice day, and it was a good opportunity for lots of people that didn't know about the Shared to come and have a look. The most amazing, wonderful people that come in here and just keep the place alive and happening.
Kate's partner in crime, the Boogeyman, looked after the visitors in his special way.
This place would not be possible without the Boogeyman. Derek is his real name. He's just incredible. He keeps everyone fed and nurtured, and he's a wonderful chef and a wonderful musician, so he keeps the place going.
There's beautiful food, beautiful vegetarian organic food at the back there, coffees, cake, and there's photography at the studio. So you go out, you want to get up and mingle and walk around here, you don't have far to go, it's just right here.
The heart of the shed is its photography school, and the heart of the photography school is the world-renowned fashion and music photographer Colin Beard, whose iconic work adorns the walls.
Colin Beard, wow, I mean, wow, he is the master. And if you look at the photographs on the walls, you'll see that he's had such a colourful history. He started the first rock and roll magazine in Australia called Go Set with a team of university students, and he travelled the world photographing Jimi Hendrix and Rolling Stones. And then he was #1 fashion photographer throughout the 70s in Australia. And he's still going, and the older he gets, the more passionate he gets. He's a wonderful teacher and a wonderful photographer and a wonderful man.
Take the flash off.
And go without flash. I work without flash.
No. Well, it's up to you. It's up to you.
It's up to you what you like.
Yeah, it's up to you. Okay. Quarter.
No, it's not in line.
Sort of beautiful. Now, come towards me. Come over here. Ah, we go.
When I was studying photography at Nambour TAFE, I met Colin. He came in as a guest teacher, and wow, he's just the most amazing photography teacher, and we all really appreciated him. I needed a job and he needed to be teaching, so we opened up the Sunshine Coast School of Photography together.
That's it. Now look, turn your head a little bit towards him. Now look, that's it. You just married him, for goodness sake. Okay, get your head closer. That's it. Good. Okay. Aha! Yes. When I came from Italy, I didn't know what to do with myself. Living in Sydney, there was nothing left for me. I mean, photography professionally is a young man's business. It doesn't matter how good you are. Yeah. All right, go and take a photograph. Wait a minute, take a photograph. How are you going there?
Good.
Oh, it's so light.
Isn't it? Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've particularly been out of the business for quite some time, you know, as a professional. I mean, so anyway, it takes a lot of effort to get back into it, you know. So I decided, I met one of my friends, a guy I did some books with, is a writer. He lived up here, so I said, why don't you come up? So I came up and found a nice place. I lived in Mullaney, which is a kind of used to be anyway, a very creative place, a place for creatives to gather and hang out. And I found a lot of really nice people, some really talented painters. And I thought, this will do. You know, I've got colleagues to talk to and share things with. And so I moved up here. It has changed since I've been up here, I must admit. But Yandina is a place which seems to have maintained that. It's a little bit hippie, right? But that's all right, that's terrific, that's no problem. And you've got places like this, which Kate started, based upon the school of photography, which Kate kept it going. She got this place and kept the school going here. And you know, look at it, it's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, we can have things on the wall, we can just hang them up, we can peg them up actually. It's that kind of place. But also, there's all sorts of other things going on here too.
This sleepy little town is not renowned for being a cultural hub, or as being especially devoted to the arts and creative culture. Outside the metropolitan hubs of Sydney and Melbourne, cultural and creative arts are sparse. Even the local pub has placed less and less emphasis on its entertainment, making the Shed even more important as one of the few places for bands and creative individuals to perform.
They had a very vibrant music scene in the pubs in the 80s, I think, but that kind of died out with the advent of the digital realm and poker machines. So people stopped going to pubs to see bands, and I just think it might have been the time for that era to end anyway. You know the way things come to general conclusion. It had been very healthy for 10 years, and it was a certain style of music, and the style of music changed. People, you know, these fantastic DJs came out where they were incorporating old music with modern music, and so people, I think, got a bit jaded with the pub band too. It was a formula, and but if you go into a pub now, you can be taking your life into someone else's hands. It's a very aggressive situation. I don't really like it. I don't play in those pubs. I've found other venues to play in.
Musical performance and creative expression in general is not a lucrative endeavour in rural Australia. But it doesn't stop musos and creatives from lining up to play, sing and perform.
Well, this is true. Yeah, I think everybody here does it primarily for the creative satisfaction of actually performing and doing something perhaps that's unique or that they wrote themselves or whatever. Yeah, it is pretty bad, and it's pretty, I guess, maybe even a bit worse on the Sunshine Coast because there's so many creative people here and so few venues that will actually pay you to actually do something.
It is a very nurturing place because it's alcohol free. It doesn't have a bar, it doesn't have a liquor license. I think that makes it particularly nourishing, but it's and also it's run by donation, so you kind of have to pay a little bit to get into these type of events, and that makes people sort of sit up and listen because they may have only paid $5 in or something for a whole afternoon's entertainment with 14 different acts. But I think it brings about a bit of respect in the audience, teaches people to be an audience if they paid in. That helps. Also, it's because it's so comfortable, it's got all these beautiful couches, you kind of sit back and relax and you're not standing up in someone's face. It makes it a bit more special, and it kind of lifts the standard a bit, because an intimate concert, the performer has to work harder in a way. So all these Australian performers are really good at their craft, and they communicate it on different levels. So when they do go overseas and get into these big venues, they stand out, you know. And I found it's really helped me as a performer as well.
Some inspirational performances that have been at the Shared. Alan Kelly again, he's just an incredible performer.
Back on the streets and tired out town I was born in. Me hungry heart is only happy to meet the girl I left for me fortune. Oh, now she's another man's wife, a hard drinking man's wife. I reckon I'm dicing with life, it'll only bring me trouble and strife. She was shining out in the black of the night by the harbour wall where we lingered. The girl I left for the big and bright, another man's ring in her finger. Oh, now she's another man's wife, a hard drinking man's wife. I reckon I'm dicing with life, it'll only bring me trouble and strife. He's a clown at the first, he's a fearsome fighter and drinker. He hangs around with other women and worth not a penny of wages he gives her. Oh no, she's another man's wife, a hard drinking man's wife. I reckon I'm dicing with life, it'll only bring me trouble and strife. He's out to get me her husband, he says this part's on me, I be losing. I'm no coward, but it's sooner they'd stay down there where I know I can use them. Oh, now she's another man's wife, a hard drinking man's wife. I reckon I'm dicing with life, it'll only bring me trouble and strife. his face and cursed the day that left him. Forbidden fruit is much better to taste. Someday we'll taste it together. Oh, now she's another man's wife, a hard-drinking man's wife. I reckon I'm dicing with life. It'll only bring me trouble and strife. Now she's another man's wife, a hard-drinking man's wife. I reckon I'm dicing with life. It'll only bring me trouble and strife. Only bring me trouble and strife.
We love to welcome everybody to the shed. It's just such a warm space, and all the ideas and everything that's been built in here is part of each and every one in the community that's come in here and given us ideas, or like just inspiration. It's part of everyone that's come in here, really. People's ideas are all over the place. There's just so much going on here. It's different every day. And just people love coming here and sharing.
And it's fabulous people, absolutely fabulous people are attracted to this place. We've had so many creative contacts and interactions here that you think, well, what did we do before? We had this place.
It's just wonderful. It's a real community space, how we feel, and yeah, it's just a lovely place for you to hang out and meet new friends, really. If people want to come in and just pop in, we've got so much they can do. You can sit and relax and read a book in the corner, or we've got free wireless internet that people can come and use. So it's a great meeting place for friends, and you can come in and just relax.